गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट। गना शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। टुडे वी गोना डू समथिंग वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग। द क्वेश्चन इज, should I buy a Chinese weapon system? Well, whom am I directing this to? It's not to my internal audience, it's not to Indian audience, it's to those people who are considering that whether they should go in for a Chinese weapon system. As all of you know, those of you are seeing me internationally, and this my audience is international. Target. I'm speaking to all of you. Is whether, you know that we've had a skirmish with Pakistan, and Pakistan has gone to town to say victory. And this so-called victory over India, shooting down planes, all that, has been amplified by Chinese media and then corroborated by the Western media like New York Times and Washington Post and Financial Times and all that. It appears as if the Chinese weapon systems are the order of the day. And the Western systems and the Indian weapon systems are useless. And that India lost its war with Pakistan. That's the information. Well, believe it or not, that's your choice. But I'd like to put across a few issues which matter. And I'll, as we go along, you'll understand what I'm talking of. Look, this is from the South China Morning Post, which says, look, the fighting has stopped, the narratives have started. Well, the narrative started before the fighting stopped itself. In fact, I would say the narrative started the day, the moment the first Indian aircraft flew. Right? And then, while India was busy engaging Pakistan, right, China was busy putting out its narrative based on some false narratives. But then we'll go over it. Okay. Let me now come to a few issues. Why am I doing this? I'm not here to justify whether Indian weaponry was better or Chinese weaponry was better or Pakistani weaponry was better. Not interested. But I'm addressing this to all of you, right? And ask you this question. Are you responsible in any way for the security, defense, and well-being of your nation? Are you in charge of procuring defense systems for your country? Are you about to buy Chinese-made defense systems for your country? Even if it's on concessional loans and things like that, on nice terms? Are you worried about the defense of your nation against your enemies? Are you concerned that your nation's hard-earned, tax or hard-earned income through tax, your taxpayers' hard-earned dollars, is being spent on useless equipment or about to be spent on useless equipment? Do you want your nation to be Pakistan? If the answer to the majority of these questions is yes, then you should go ahead with this video. Otherwise, close it. Go home. Have a beer. But if you're concerned, you're the DA of your country, you're the defense minister of your country, you're the army chief, the navy chief, and the air force chief of your country, you must see this. If you're a great defense correspondent in a reputed platform, you must see this. What I'm going to put across. And I'll put across facts. This is not information war. This is simple facts. And anything which I put out in this can be verified independently. And then draw your own conclusions. It's your country, it's your wars, it is your money. First, there's a lot of hype that the J-10 sees downed Indian Rafale jets. And, South China Morning Post, Guancha, Xinhua, everyone has put all these out. The J-10 success in India-Pakistan clash testifies to China's air superiority. China didn't take part in this operation, but their air superiority has come up. Only because now they are tom-tomming that J-10C is the best aircraft in the world. There are a few questions about it. We are convinced as Indians what we are talking of. You have to be convinced of what you have to do to your country. And we know what to do with the Chinese and the Pakistanis. Let's be very clear. Information or no information. But you have to be convinced what you have to do with your own country. And then, of course, there's news. This is in Guancha. This is a translated version from Guancha. Foreign media has gone viral about J-35s being given to Pakistan and all that. And that's also everywhere. We'll talk of it. But let me put some facts across. During Op Sindoor, India neutralized or detected significant amounts of Chinese origin equipment. They didn't make their way across the IB. And if they did make their way across the IB, they were destroyed. This included drones, PL-15 missiles, and air defense systems. We knew how to defend ourselves against the Chinese systems. They couldn't penetrate. So if you are planning to use Chinese systems to penetrate a strong air defense, it won't. So if your enemy has weak air defense, you might like to consider Chinese weapon systems. These weapon systems completely of the Pakistan army were not effective against Indian air power. They were not effective against the Indian military power. The operation involved interception and destruction of Chinese origin air defense radars. They were completely negated. Right? Pakistan and its air force were hammered. I'm using this word, hammered into seeking a ceasefire through USA after losing approximately 5 to 7 billion US dollars worth of military hardware. Well, I'm putting this all so that what I'm speaking is there. You can see it, you can verify it. And you can see this in any language. After all, these days, YouTube gives you the choice of using various subtitles and also, dubbing. Right, let me recount how things went and how Chinese systems fared in our, scheme of things. Right. And I will show this each with verifiable content. On 7th May, Indian Armed Forces launched Operation Sindoor. We hit terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, from where terror attacks against India have been planned, directed, and executed from a long time. We targeted 9 sites and we took all of them out. What were these sites? These were the terrorist headquarters and the main sites, of the Lashkar-e-Taiba, the Jaish-e-Mohammed, and the Hizbul Mujahideen. And all these are listed terrorist organizations of UN and other international agencies. And their addresses are in UN lists and international lists. We took them out completely. On first night, our aim and objective of Op Sindoor was achieved. The national aim. Remember, as our Prime Minister has been saying, our war is against terror emanating from Pakistan. It's not as if we were the only guys who are concerned. There are voices within Pakistan. And this is a voice from Pakistan. And what does that voice say? It does introspection. He says the important question is whether the residences of Jaish Mohammed, Lashkar Taiba, and Hizbul Mujahideen established in Punjab should be considered military installations or collective assets of their country for which all people need to fight. Is protecting them the responsibility of the whole country, and destroying the whole country behind them is the future of Pakistan? Yet, the Pakistan state and the army chose to defend these people or retaliate against India for these guys who are known terrorists. Will the story of Palestine and Hamas be repeated here? Are these madrasas of terrorists, which have been internationally declared as nurseries of terrorists, or total assets? Are these the assets of Pakistan? That's what they're questioning themselves. How long will the owners continue to ruin the whole country behind these assets? Is the war on terrorism not a global war? Perhaps Voltaire had said, forget peace as long there is a single extremist in the world. This is, of course, the translation of what came in Urdu. They, Pakistanis, a large number of sane Pakistanis, are justifying what we executed on night 7th 8 by taking out 9 terrorist sites. Well, on the night, they said, when the Dragon took flight, the J-10C shifted the balance to Pakistan and all that hype. There's a J-10C. Okay. On 7th morning, after we took out the 9 terrorist sites, Pakistan claimed that it had shot down 5 Indian aircraft, including a Rafale or 2. And they all credited it to the J-10C. And they went to town about it. They went to town about this story. Fine. Where's the proof? It's not I who's asking it. A Pakistani comes out and says this. Listen to it.
और वो फेक न्यूज क्या है? और वो फेक न्यूज क्या है कि जनाब हमारे जहाज गए और इंडिया की उन्होंने फ्ला 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 जाके जो है वो एयरबेस जो है वो तबाह कर दी, और वहां से इंडिया के जहाज आए और साढ़े वाले एंज एंज करके निकल गए और एक भी गोली नहीं लग सकी, उनके पता नहीं इतने आ गए थे, हमारे इतने गए थे। अब मैं आपको असल बात बताऊं, पाकिस्तान का एक भी जहाज जो है वो बॉर्डर क्रॉस करके नहीं है। पाकिस्तान का एक भी जहाज, पीएफ का, पाकिस्तान एयरफोर्स का एक भी जहाज पाकिस्तानी हदूद से बाहर गया ही नहीं। एनी बैठ के बिला वजह बैठ के वीडियोस बनाई जा रहे हैं, ना कुछ पता है। वो गए, वो जाके दिल्ली एयरपोर्ट के ऊपर जनाब वो ऊपर से उन्होंने बमबारी कर दी, तो वो कोई कह रहा है अमृतसर के ऊपर बमबारी कर दी, वो कहता कहीं पे कर दी। तो मेरे भाई, हमारा एक भी जहाज बॉर्डर क्रॉस करके नहीं गया।
Pakistanis themselves are not convinced about the performance of their air force. Why should you be? That's a question I'd like to ask you if you're watching this video. It's not only the normal Pakistani. This man is a parliamentarian. And this clip, which you're going to see now, is from the Parliament of Pakistan. Okay? He's a senator in Pakistan, government. So what does he say?
कल मैं सुन रहा था CNN को हमारा डिफेंस मिनिस्टर इंटरव्यू दे रहा था। तो इस तरह के इंटरव्यू तो मैंने जब सुना तो मैं हैरान हुआ कि एक एंकर उससे पूछते हैं कि आप कह रहे हैं कि पाकिस्तान ने 5 जहाज गिराए हैं, इसका कोई प्रूफ, कोई सबूत है? तो ये कहता है सोशल मीडिया। अफसोस की बात है, इस तरह का जवाब इसको देना चाहिए था।
Look, a Pakistani parliamentarian is saying, he's questioning his own defense minister on his claim of, or the Pakistani claim of shooting down 5 Indian aircraft without proof. And the proof, all he has to say is these are based on social media reports. This is from within their parliament. Right? And when you look at it, right, till date, there is not even a single photo or a proof or everything that an Indian aircraft or a jet has been shot down. It's only DGISPR of Pakistan, his claims, which has been amplified by Chinese media for their own reasons, and then hyped by Western media, which has acted as an echo chamber, amplifier, blaring amplification. That's the reality. Nothing. So the question is, where J10C is better or not? I leave it to your imagination. Okay. But the story of this skirmish from 7 to 10 doesn't end with this scuffle between J10Cs and Rafales. But as an interesting aside, how is it that the shares of Avic, Chengdu, jumped up on 8th May and then after that have gone down? They've been going down regularly. People know the reality. People who want to put their money in J10C and Avic and all know the reality. Okay. Now, on 7th, 8th, 8th, 9th, 9th, 10th nights, 3 nights, Pakistan carried out multiple drone and missile attacks against military and civilian targets in India. Let me tell you, they were all swatted off. They were all swatted off by our efficient air defense. Pakistan's bid to escalate the whole situation was negated. Now, this is a official, put out by our government. It says on the night 7th, 8th May, Pakistan engaged. Let me magnify it fully so that you know what is written. Okay. Pakistan attempted to engage a number of military targets in the north and western India, including Avantipura, Srinagar, Jammu, Pathankot, Amritsar, Kapurthala, Ludhiana, Adampur, Batinda, Chandigarh, Nal, Falodi, Uttarlai and Bhuj using missiles and drones. Those of you who know the geography of India, this entails the complete border with Pakistan, over 3,000 kilometers. These were neutralized by the integrated counter-UAS grid and air defense systems. The debris of these attacks is now being recovered from a number of locations that prove the Pakistani attacks. We have it. Those of you who are interested can get in touch with our government and the armed forces. They will give you the proof further. Today morning, that was on 8th morning, 8th May. This bulletin was put out at 2:43 p.m. on 8th May. Today morning, Indian Armed Forces targeted air defense radars and systems at a number of locations in Pakistan. Indian response has been in the same domain with the same intensity as Pakistan. It has been really reliably learned that an air defense system at Lahore has been neutralized. There's no doubt about it, right? The air defense system at Lahore was neutralized. Okay, you will not believe it. I have no problem, but I'll come to it. When you look at it over the 3 days or the 3 nights, days and nights, what are the performance of the drones and missiles of China? Drones, let me talk of each of them. Indian forces intercepted and neutralized multiple Chinese origin drones with their wreckages which were displayed during official briefings. This Wingloom 2 drones and AR-1 missiles. These drones, which were equipped with Chinese laser-guided air-to-surface missiles, were intercepted and neutralized by Indian air defenses. I'm giving specifics. Lack of stealth. Many Chinese origin drones and missiles lacked stealth capabilities, making them easily detectable and targetable by Indian air defense. It was actually, even at night, it was as if we are seeing the day and we pick them off. So that much. If you are planning to buy a Wingloom, remember this. they didn't achieve what Pakistan set itself out to do. Then they had showed a marked inability to evade air defenses. Okay, the Chinese origin drones and missiles demonstrated a lack of ability to evade Indian air defenses, which were clearly superior. I have no doubts about it. Okay, and this is now coming out in media, international media. This is a Portuguese media. Portuguese media has got no affiliation either with India or Pakistan or anyone. It was a surprise. It was in fact very surprising that they came out with this to say poor performance of Turkish and Chinese drones have embarrassed Pakistan military. Well, the Pakistan military has no shame. They can get embarrassed. I do hope your militaries have sensitivity of shame. You want to expose yourself to Chinese weapon systems? Go ahead. But before you do that, go into this. Just think of what I'm saying. Famed PL-15 missiles, which used to be shot from J-10 and all those, air to air and things like that. All these were either intercepted or otherwise failed to reach their targets. They didn't reach. Some of them just fell. We recovered. We know we're going to reverse engineer it. In any country which wants to know how to hereafter tackle P-15 missile systems, you're welcome to come to Indian Army. Or when I say Indian Army, in the Indian Armed Forces. And get information. We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you free of cost. Okay? So what is this? The story which comes out is PL-15 missiles were either intercepted or otherwise failed to reach their targets. The PL-15 missile is susceptible to spoofing and was neutralized before reaching its intended target. Some were not destroyed. We just electronically blanked them out and they nicely landed and we got them. Only one has been put out. Right? The armed forces have more. Okay. All 3 nights of this operation, the Indian Air Force bypassed and jammed Pakistan's air defense systems. And Pakistan's air defense systems were completely based on the Chinese equipment, the HQ-9, 16 and all that. They were rendered useless. Right. As far as the Chinese air defense systems are concerned, let me get to that because that's important. Because you want to defend your country and its air by the Chinese air defense systems, you should know what you're in for. Isn't it? The destruction of YLC-8E radar. Are you buying it? Take care. And damage to other radars highlighted vulnerabilities in China's air defense offerings to Pakistan. As Pakistan had it, they got Pakistan. Overall, Operation Sindoor exposed the pattern of failures and underperformance by Chinese origin equipment, and particularly in terms of stealth and ability to evade air defenses, Indian air defenses. They couldn't. This suggests that while China may have been attempting to supply Pakistan with advanced weaponry, the systems did not always perform as expected in real-world combat scenario. Thank you. Okay, you don't believe me, isn't it? Fine, I have no problem. Believe CNN, which is completely left-leaning, which is virtually an echo chamber of what Pakistan and China have put out in this whole 3 days. And this is a report of 9th May. And hear him say what happened in Lahore and Rawalpindi and Karachi and all that. And you'll understand what happened. So far I've spoken. I'll let others speak. Yeah.
5 drones, and this rolling drone attack that began about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and has gone on through the day. One landed in Rawalpindi, about 10 miles from here. A lot of destruction around the main cricket stadium there. It's really rattling people here in Pakistan, and it's not really what the government, I think, was expecting. The drones are hitting Karachi in the south. In the deep south, somebody in the fields there was killed by a drone. 4 military personnel in Lahore, city of 13 million people, 13 miles from the border with India. 4 military personnel there injured when one of those drones got through. So you have strikes in the deep south, in the heartland in the middle, here in the north. It's that sense of unease now is creeping into the population that this is not the normal form of tit for tat. This is sort of beginning to be rolling conflict. And I just, you have to add to that, Pakistan still hasn't done what it said it would do and have those revenge attacks for the Wednesday attacks.
India confirmed its target.
So if you're not, you can replay this and have a look. But the main points are this. It's there. You see it on the screen. Rolling drone attacks. No defense from Pakistan. The Chinese defense systems failed. I mean, you can't carry out a rolling drone attack. You saw that chap, that guy who was speaking from Lahore or Islamabad. What he was saying, they are being attacked in Lahore, they have been attacked in Karachi, Islamabad, Rawalpindi, everywhere. And they had no answer. They were rattling people. The Rawalpindi cricket stadium was hit to give a message that we can hit Pakistan anywhere we want. People were in panic. That's what he's saying. Okay. Pakistan was taken by complete surprise. They didn't know what hit them. And Pakistan couldn't do anything about revenge and all that. And this is what he says. It's not the I. This is from CNN. Okay. I have done the talking. You hear now from the other side. And there's a lady. You just hear what she says. Again, what she said, I put it here.
मीडिया पे जरा देखें तो सही, क्योंकि आपको शायद जंग का पता नहीं। मेरे हस्बैंड एयरफोर्स में थे, मेरे बहनोई भी एयरफोर्स में थे। ये जो क्लेम कर रहे हैं कि इन्होंने जहाज गिराए हैं, वो जो नवाज शरीफ की हुकूमत क्लेम कर रही है ना, तो यहाँ पे ड्रोन अंदर आ रहे हैं, मतलब इंडिया से अंदर पिंडी तक पहुंच रहे हैं। पिंडी तक पहुंचे कैसे?
So what she says, look, I know about Air Force. I have relatives in the Air Force who served in the Air Force, everything. And then she says the government is only claiming that, we've drowned 5 aircraft. By implication, she says the government. And then waves of drones are hitting Pakistan. How are they coming in? Drone pe drone are in. Drone pe drone is waves of drones coming in, hitting them. How are they coming in? How are they coming in? Ask the Chinese. Ask their AD systems. Bloody hole in that. It was not one hole, it was a big hole where all our drones went through and did what they did. So still convinced about Chinese systems? Yeah, be my guest. Okay. And this man, those of you who feel the Chinese air defense is still good, listen to him. Listen to him and listen to the panic he was in.
So Pakistan tried to engage many of the Indian military targets in the nearby states, adjoining states of India, and all those attempts were foiled by Indian military. Plus, India also neutralized the air defense system of Lahore, and we all know that Lahore is the heart, you can say, of Pakistan. So now the heart is open and exposed without those air defense systems. So Pakistan should now understand that any misadventure may lead to a heart attack of Pakistan.
So see what he says. This is from Pakistan. This came out on 8th morning. Not 8th, yeah, 9th morning. This is 9th. You can search it out on the net. I have no problem. And this man says Pakistan tried to engage targets but were foiled by Indian military. And he's very clearly said that India neutralized the air defense system of Lahore, which our Press Information Bureau put out as a bulletin. And he says Lahore is the heart of Pakistan and the heart is open without air defense, vulnerable. And he's gone on to say any misadventure by Pakistan will lead to a heart attack of Pakistan. There's actually panic in Lahore. There was panic all over Pakistan. The Chinese HQ-9 and other AD systems had either failed, got jammed, or were taken out physically. It was a system collapse. Why am I talking of system collapse? The Chinese have a doctrine called system destruction warfare. System destruction warfare is their doctrine. It failed. Today, the Chinese are not talking of system destruction warfare in all their media. They're only talking of J10 success against Rafale, which is questionable. But their system failed. So their doctrines failed. But I will not stop here. There's more to it.
So,
And then there was panic elsewhere. Look at the panic of this chap.
अभी सिचुएशन हो गई है कोई थोड़ा सा पैनिक मच गया एंड आई एम स्टिल एट द नीलम जेवर पावर प्लांट यहाँ से लोगों को जो है ना निकाला जा रहा है और बंकर में डाल रहे हैं वी आर गोइंग इनसाइड अ बंकर व्हिच हैज बीन स्पेशली क्रिएटेड बाय वापडा
They are in panic wherever they were. Every Pakistani, whether it's in Lahore or it's in the hinterland or wherever. CNN has also reported. This man has also reported. Show me a single clip where an Indian has been in panic like this from the Pakistani Air Force or Pakistani attacks. I'm yet to see it. And yet Pakistan won. So, are you very happy? Or are you convinced? If you are, all the best. Right. And then this again. After 48 hours in the conflict, this is the scene at Lahore in Islamabad airport. Put out by a chap called Habib Khan. You can see, you can go and have a look at this thing, his handle. It's here. Islamabad airport is overwhelmed as wealthy families and military elites. Military elites also scrambled. And military elites scrambled to flee Pakistan amid rising chaos and fears of further escalation. I'll ask you this question. Are you a military elite in your country? Are you a wealthy person of your country? Are you a high-ranking government official in your country, or are you a defense personnel of your country? Take care. If you use Chinese weapon systems, ensure you have a good getaway. Ensure you have a good airport from where all your families, your near and dear, your wealth, whatever ill-gotten or good-gotten can go. Or make arrangements for you to run off. Because the Chinese systems won't save you. They didn't save Pakistan. They didn't save Pakistanis. So all the best to all of you on that score. So these are questions which I'm posing. Okay. Now 9th, 10th May, all attempts by Pakistan to attack Indian military and civil targets were thwarted by our air defenses. They came out with all guns blazing. Now they fired ballistic missiles of Chinese origin and Chinese design. They were all intercepted and downed. After all, Pakistan's complete missile arsenal is of Chinese design. They fired. We intercepted it 150 kilometers into our territory and said thank you. Not a single. Pakistan has claimed damage to many things in our country. Have they shown even one photograph? One shred of evidence? Zero. And if you still feel that Chinese equipment is best for your country, be my guest. What happened on 10th May? The Indian Air Force plastered 11 air bases of Pakistan with impunity. Their complete air force was down. These J-10s were hidden. They had to hide. Their air defense was down and they had no counter. I'll only show you 4 or 5 pictures. There are 11 more of them. For that, I need another 2 hours to tell you what all happened in each airbase. I can. Just think, if all your air bases in your country are hammered, the way the Pakistanis were hammered, then what will happen? This is of the Noor Khan Air Base. Where is Noor Khan Air Base? You might like to check it out. Okay, there are satellite images which are freely available on any kind of social media. What happened? That had their national command authority, which we hit. Noor Khan Air Base is between Rawalpindi and Islamabad. In between, the most important air base of Pakistan, Chaklala. We took it out, and they could do nothing about it. And they had nuclear capable weapons there. They have. After all, it's their capital, they have to defend it. We hit Noor Khan Air Base with precision and hit the building which we wanted to hit. You go, you'll get annotated photographs by the dozen on social media and websites. This is Jacobabad, which houses F-16s and nuclear capable aircraft. Hit. You can see this, I mean, before and after. You can see now after, because now they've repaired it. And if you see the tenders which they put out, you'll know what they had to pay. This is Sargodha. Sargodha has a cross runway, right? We hit that cross and rendered Sargodha inoperative. Aircraft couldn't take off this way or this way. Thank you. Sargodha is Pakistan's biggest air base, which houses their nuclear capable aircraft. Sorry. They have done. Now they're repairing. That's okay. They'll keep repairing. We'll hit them again if they do anything. And they don't have any defenses. The Chinese air defenses could not stop this. And where is Sargodha? Deep in Pakistan. More than 150, 200 kilometers away. Have a look, take a map and have a plot it where Sargodha is. What's more? Go into this. There's a place called Kirana Hills. Go into the story. Even these were hit. The entrance to their nuclear sites were hit, where they had nuclear weapons. You know, Kirana Hills is about 10 kilometers away from Sargodha. And, you know, the warheads, everything was there. I'll not say further. That story is now put, you know, simultaneously when these were hit and one more site was hit. I'm saying one more site was hit. These are all probabilities. I cannot confirm it. There's no official news about it. But if you see, at the same time, when these were hit and a little after that, there were 2 earthquakes in Pakistan in the same places. Then there were aircraft carrying boron coming from China, landing here. Then there were American aircraft loafing around, detecting radiation leaks. That's a closed chapter for many reasons. But you put all this together, and if you still think Pakistan is winning, and if you still think Chinese equipment is very good, thank you. Okay. This is Rahim Yar Khan. You know, see this? There's a crater. This is the crater. This is the crater. Okay. Nothing could take off from Rahim Yar Khan after this crater on that runway. It was so nicely put in the middle. No aircraft could have taken off from this run. This is it. This is another official photograph. You can take it. I'm just showing you as Bolari. We took out a hangar. What was in that hangar? Go into the social media, you'll know. And you see the losses which they've suffered from F-16s to Saabs and their AEW aircraft and everything. They're all gone. Thank you, Murid. I can keep showing you annotated photographs of before and after. This is the Rahim Yar Khan airport. All done and dusted. So, so the complete air capability of Pakistan did not function. Not a single aircraft, including this famed J-10C, took to the air on 10th May. They were all hidden. They couldn't fire a single missile. They didn't. And yet, Pakistan claims victory, and China amplifies it, and it gets echoed in the Western press. I'm not justifying our victory or defeat. I'll come back to that question. Are you responsible to ensure the defense and security of your nation? That's the question you have to answer. And this is the famed SH-15 155mm howitzer, which Pakistan took by the dozens. And they malfunctioned. The barrels broke. The vehicle couldn't function. Pakistan had to go back to older medium guns to fire. So if you are buying this SH-15 artillery, well, all the best. Your enemies will have a ball. Immediately after, on 10th, immediately after 10th May, the Deputy Prime Minister of Pakistan rushed to China. He made a dash, went and met Wang Yi. They spoke of ironclad friendship and dialogue, and they said, we will ensure that the territorial integrity of Pakistan is not violated. All that nonsense. It was violated for the 4 days of the war. Now China comes and says, no, we'll not allow it to happen. They couldn't. And then the news, they will be given J-35As or Bs or Cs or whatever. 5th generation aircraft, top of the line. We will give it at 50% discount. We will give it, at top speed. We will deliver it post haste. I have a question. Does Pakistan need to be given the top of the line system at a huge discount in a rush if Pakistan had really defeated India? Was the J-10C so effective as claimed? If it had been so good, if J-10C is so good, then why do they need a higher level of aircraft? There are questions which any nominal military thinker with an iota of sense will think. These are questions I'm asking. Then the Prime Minister shot off to Turkey to elevate strategic partnership with Turkey. Turkey till then was not that kind of a partner. It was China. Now they want to elevate Turkey. I mean, it's a different thing. The Turkish equipment also failed. But why does he want to go to Turkey? He is not confident of China. Look at this. If Pakistan, ironclad brother of China, is not confident of Chinese equipment because they have lost it and they have to go to Turkey, why are you buying Chinese equipment? Or should you buy Chinese equipment at all? Maybe you also should go to Turkey and get beaten there also. You see, all these Turkish drones and Chinese drones behaved beautifully in places where there were no defenses against opponents who could not defend themselves. Not in India, they got hammered. Remember that. Now let me go back a little in time. I'm going back to the time of Nancy Pelosi's days. When Nancy Pelosi went to Taiwan, immediately PLA carried out punishment drills around Taiwan, and they fired 11 missiles, if I remember right. The missiles even then didn't land on their targets. It triggered a chain of events. Incidentally, after that event, China has not fired missiles across Taiwan. They have shown firing at different places. Even the last month, which they did, they fired in somewhere in the East Sea on their own areas. They have not fired their missiles in international waters across Taiwan after that. Why? Their missiles, out of the 11 missiles, 3 or 4 failed, maybe more. Okay, they landed in Japan's EEZ. They're just about 100 kilometers from Yonaguni. Yonaguni is an island of Japan, and Japan put their AD systems there. And the result was, today there are AD missiles deployed in Yonaguni, and this is from January 23-24. Even at that time, there was a thinking within PLA that they had botched up the whole story, and internal inquiries were put on. And from then to now, there is a discord between the political setup and the PLA till date. And we now know what's happening in the PLA. He Dong eliminated. Another general eliminated. Half of the CMC not present. Zhang Yuxia on a rampage against Xi Jinping. That's a different story. I'll talk of it later. But this was then. So their missiles misbehaved then. And then, this is the Wall Street Journal that reported in May, June 24. Their nuclear submarine just sank. We know that. This is the picture. It's in Wuchang shipyard of June 15. It's not surfaced. So far, there's no news of it surfacing. See, China doesn't accept their problems or losses. This whole submarine has gone down. And there are cases where the submarine has gone down with sailors and they have not been recovered. We know that. March 24, there's a case where a DF-17, a nuclear-capable DF-17, was fired from the east coast and it landed near Beijing. It was to fire into the sea, it landed on the other side. This is Chinese missilery. This is their PLA RF. When this incident happened, there were a lot of news on the net, social media. Today, it's been scrubbed. Not a single thing you'll find. It was just by luck I retained this. I want to show you. This is not a one-off event in China, between India and Pakistan and Chinese equipment failing. Their equipment has failed elsewhere also. It is not as if, Pakistan is the only problematic country as far as Chinese equipment is concerned. There are a number of reports about Chinese equipment malfunctioning, including in Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Nigeria, Kenya, and more. And Pakistan still has a lot of naval equipment and tanks which don't function, Chinese. So if you are planning to buy Chinese equipment, I think don't trust me. You shouldn't trust me because I'm an Indian. I'm an Indian general. I'm an interested party to run down China, isn't it? That's logical. I will run down China. That's my job. That's my patriotism to my country. You be patriotic to your country and ask the other countries their experience about China's equipment. Take each of my videos and each of my thing and get it checked out. After all, today you can always trace all these videos somewhere or the other. And look at this. I call this the China's deep fake movement. So you will say, what is this? Okay, have a look. Unless you see it, you will not believe.
Вот мы видим, что
See the
случилось,
Chinese
что
tank?
случилось. Вы посмотрите, вот на гребенке практически, да, вот он,
Ah,
готов,
there it
готов.
goes. See that wheel? It's come out.
Разваливается китайский танк. Ну что ж такое? Смотрим, где? Вот мы видим, что
So if you're
случилось,
planning to buy
Вы посмотрите,
a
вот
Chinese
на
tank,
гребенке практически,
make sure you
да,
get
вот
enough
он,
bogey
готов,
wheels
готов.
because they have a tendency to fall off.
Разваливается китайский танк.
See this?
Ну что ж такое? То гусеница, то каток.
Look at that.
Да,
And one thing I must say, tanks can go without bogies.
Посмотрите, какая выносливая машина и
It's like
какая филигранная
technology,
техника.
high tech.
Запасной танк практически у самой
So
финишной
thank you.
черты.
Right? So these are the things. And of course, when the Chinese come and sell you their equipment, they'll give you damn good terms and conditions. And those terms and conditions will, you'll fall for them. And later you'll be in their debt trap. This is what is happening now. China gave out a lot of money to all countries. Now it's in the collection spree. The debt trap is being sprung. So if you buy Chinese equipment with their loans and all that enticement and all that, you might end up in a situation where you're caught in a debt trap, you can't repay, and that equipment is useless. So these are the things which I thought I must put across to all of you today. If you are interested in your country, if you are interested in the welfare of your country, its security and defense of your country, if you are going to procure weapons for your country, if you're the defense minister, you're the prime minister, you're the defense attaché of your country, if you're whatever you are, and you want to buy Chinese equipment, this is the reality. You don't believe this is the reality? Search for an alternate reality and whatever it is. And take your conscious decision. I'm not here to justify what India has done. We are very clear what India has done. But I thought I must put it across to all those countries who trust India that what Pakistan and China are putting out is complete falsehood. Fake. I have no problem with their fake news. Internally, they know what has happened to them. Internally, we are clear what will happen. We know how to handle Chinese threat across the Himalayas. Now it emerges after this, the Chinese are pretty weak across the Himalayas. We took out 11 air bases in Pakistan. Against China, in any sector, we have to just take out one air base. And the Chinese capability will go down by 90%. And this has taught us how to do it. I'm not showing those. I can show you, I can transpose what we did to Pakistan and what we can do to China. It's a clear transposition. And China will not have the capability to do what Pakistan even attempted. So, right? Thanks a lot. This is what I had to put. I know there'll be a lot of trolling from China. Right? And at the end, I'll say is the Chinese toys are good. Export them to America. The Americans will buy it. Oh, the other things I don't know, your choice. With this, thank you and Jai Hind.